welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Makeup by Sasha. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my birth story. Now some of you may know I've had my beautiful baby boy Caden, and he is just gorgeous. Like, I can't even believe I'm a whole month. Like, he came out of me. Like, it just feels surreal to me. But yeah, I've had a beautiful baby boy. He is now 2 weeks old. It's taken me a little time to like adjust to motherhood, so it's taken a little while for this video to be made because I've just had a lot to do. Like, your girl has been so busy. Like, I literally rate mothers, like, trust me, we go through a lot. Like, it's not easy at all, but I'm gonna try and make this video not too long. Like, I don't want it to be too long, but there is quite a lot to say. So just grab a hot drink or a drink and just, yeah, bear with me guys, because it might be a long one. Okay, so it all started when I went to the hospital for my normal midwife checkup. So it was, I think it was about 39 weeks at this point. I went for my normal checkup, my normal midwife appointment, and they asked me, they were like, oh, how was the movement of the baby? And to be honest with you, the movement had slowed down, but I just thought, okay, maybe that's just because like he's getting bigger now, you know, it's coming closer to the time. Or maybe I just thought, because I had been kind of going through ups and downs at home and stuff like that, so I was thinking maybe he's just feeding off of my energy. When I'm upset, he's kind of like feeding off of it. So I just wasn't sure. So they said, you know what, that doesn't sound too good, especially because you're quite far along. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna basically assess you. So they told me to go downstairs. This is at St. Thomas, by the way. They told me to go downstairs and just check on the baby's heart rate or whatever. So fine, that's what I did. They hooked me up to like a monitor and they strapped me in and everything. By the way, I had been waiting literally about 5 hours. Yeah, the whole process to be seen, it was very, very long. They hooked me up to the machine and the baby's heart rate was kind of fluctuating a little bit. But I was just thinking that's just down to him moving, like him being a little naughty boy and just moving like far from where the monitor was on my stomach. So that's what I just boiled that down to. Long story short, they said to me what I can either do is get induced, because obviously I'm 39 weeks, or I can go for a checkup. We can book you in for a checkup on Monday and you can basically have a scan just to check if the placenta's all working properly and everything like that. Fine. So I chose to go for the scan because I just didn't want to be induced. Like, that was just against what I wanted to do. I had a very clear plan. I had a very I don't know, I just had an idea of how I wanted everything to go. Like, everything was planned in my mind. I didn't want any interventions, I didn't want no drugs. I just wanted to have a natural birth, as natural as possible. And also, from what I heard about inductions, it's just not, yeah, it's not very nice. It's really painful and I just didn't want to go that route. So I obviously chose the scan option, which was the following Monday. So this was on a Friday and they told me, they said I can come in on Monday. So anyway, I went home that evening and I woke up like 4 AM. I was just like, I just don't feel him moving. He's not moving the same. Like, he's just quiet in there. Like, what is going on? So I was starting to get a bit worried actually. And so we just got ready. I literally got in the shower, I put on my clothes and we both went early in the morning, went to the hospital, because I actually called them first and they were like, you know what, you wouldn't be calling us if you wasn't worried, so just come in. So I came in now and they checked me out. They took a urine sample. I found out that I had protein in my urine, which isn't a good sign. And also my blood pressure was quite high. So they said to me that I possibly could have preeclampsia. This was beyond me because my entire pregnancy was perfect. There was nothing wrong. I didn't have any illness. There was nothing, literally nothing. Everything was pristine, like everything was fine. So that was like, what? Preeclampsia? Randomly, like at 39 weeks, that's just so random. Cool, so anyway, that was a shock to me. And then they're like, you know what, I think we should keep you in. Obviously by this point, my hospital bag's in my house, because I'm not expecting any of this. My hospital bag's in my house, I didn't have a change of clothes, nothing, yeah? So I was just like, what? Keep me in? They were like, yeah, we think we need to monitor you and the baby and we need to make sure that you're safe. And I was like, but what? Like, it was just hard to take in because I wasn't expecting that. Like, I wasn't prepared for it at all. So that was a knock. So I had to stay in the hospital for about 4 days. before I actually started the birthing process, but we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, so I had to stay there. My partner, he had to call work and literally take his maternity leave from that point. They basically said to me, you're not going to leave here without having your baby. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I was excited, but I was like, oh, they're going to have to induce me, because that's basically what they were telling me. They have to induce me. We don't know how bad this is. You could get worse. There's no way of knowing until you actually have the baby. There's no cure to preeclampsia, basically, until you have the baby. So that's not what I wanted to hear, because obviously I wanted a natural birth. I didn't want no inductions. So that was like a knock to the system, to be quite honest with you. But I just thought, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. They know what they're doing. So let me just trust. And also the midwife that I had was really nice and really, like, you could tell she was very, very experienced. So cool. I just let go and I just said, okay, fine. First of all, what they did was they put a pessary inside me. First of all, they did a sweep. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't hurt as much, but it doesn't feel comfortable. It is, I can't say it hurts. That's not really what I would say, but it's very uncomfortable and it's not nice. You definitely don't want to sweep, but that's what they did. They tried to see how far the baby was, whether my cervix was, I don't even know the right terms, but they wanted to see how far the baby was or something like that. So they had to do that, and then they put a pessary inside me. So that I had it in, because you're meant to keep the pessary in for 24 hours. I had it in for 6 hours. Throughout this whole period, every few hours they'll come and check my blood pressure and they'll come and check on the baby's heart rate. So they put the pessary in, they waited it out, they said, you know what, I didn't really start feeling contractions yet though. But we was only 6 hours in, and I remember it being about 6 a.m. and the midwife came, she checked on the baby's heart rate. The baby's heart rate had literally just dropped. Literally, she pushed on this alarm and all these midwives came flooding in. It was like 6 a.m. I was barely awake, like, at this point. Everyone just kept coming in. There was like about 10 doctors or whatever. They quickly ripped out the pessary. They're like, the baby's heart rate dropping, please get it out now, turn on your side. Da, da, da. It was just hectic. It was proper hectic. And I was just like, oh my God, what's going on? I was completely silent because I was just shocked. I was just like, shocked. They took out the pessary and just like that, the baby's heart rate went straight back up again, normal. So obviously the baby didn't like that. He didn't like that one bit. So they left that for a bit. And then by about 11 a.m. they tried another pessary and they kept that for 24 hours. Now I did start feeling mild contractions, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. I could still talk through them. I didn't have to slow down. I didn't have to bend over, nothing. It was just normal period pains to me. But I could feel them, but it wasn't, I could bear it, if you get what I mean. They came to review me again. They did another sweep to check on the cervix. And I was like 0.5 dilated. And I was just like, oh my God, it had been like a whole day since they started the induction. And I had barely made any progress. So I was like, wow, like, and I started to think to myself, I wonder if I'm intervening too early. Maybe he's not ready to come. But then I had to keep telling myself that this was a health thing for me personally, because if I had waited, I could have got more sick, especially with the preeclampsia, and who knows how it would have went, do you know what I mean? So I have to keep telling myself that because I don't want to start thinking that way. But anywho, so after that, then they gave me the gel, put the gel up there. Again, I wasn't dilating quickly enough. I think I got to about 2 centimeters and that was literally it. And then there was another point where the midwife came and he checked again, because throughout this whole time I was always getting checked throughout the night, throughout the day. They were giving me high blood pressure tablets, which was literally like making me super dizzy. So I was always being monitored all the time. The last straw now was when the same midwife that has kind of been seen to me, she came in and she monitored the baby's heart rate, but the baby's heart rate was so fast. It was like, she just looked like she didn't know what to do. And by this point they had put 2 rounds of gel inside me already. So there'd been 2 pessaries and 2 gels. Don't know the actual medical term. The baby's heart rate was just going out of control. And I think even she was worried, but she didn't want to tell me. She didn't want to let on that she was actually worried. So anyway, now she's like, right, we've got to move you quickly. So I had to move to a different ward. And this time I was by myself in a room. Something's about to happen. Something's going on and they're not saying what it is. They put me on a drip, hurt like crazy. That was really painful. The doctor came in and she's like, you know what, at the moment your baby's distressed. We're not quite sure why, but all we know is that he's not coping well with the contractions. Every time you contract, because by this time I was actually having regular contractions and they were getting a little bit more painful as well, but still not to the point I was screaming down the house. But I personally feel like I'm not that type anyway to be screaming, so, and I can cope with pain quite well, but I know it wasn't at its peak basically. And they were basically saying that every contraction that I'm having, the baby's heart rate is just dipping and he's not handling it well. So if we let you get to like 9 centimeters dilated, he might not be able to handle that. It's looking like we need to do a C-section. Oh my gosh. And you know what's funny? I was preparing my mind for that because this whole time, everything I didn't want to happen was happening and I didn't know why. Like, I was so upset. And when they said it to me, you know what, I just said, you know what, do whatever you need to do, because I need to see this child. I need to make sure that my baby is fine, healthy and everything. Like, I could never forgive myself if I tried to go against what they were saying and it went wrong. No. So I just said, you know what, do whatever you gotta do. It was like an emergency basically. They needed to act now, like, and I was thinking my poor little bubba's in there like getting distressed. It was a lot, man. Next minute I had to sign papers. They told me to take out all my jewelry, took out my tongue ring so I don't have a tongue ring anymore. I took out everything, my nose ring, every piercing. So they wheeled me, they put me in a bed, they wheeled me into the other room, the theatre room. And they said to me, okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna move you onto your side and we're gonna give you a spinal injection to numb you from like under the breast back down to your feet basically. You shouldn't feel anything. So cool, so they moved me on my side. They're like, all right, sharp prick, bang. They injected me in my spine. All I know, they told me to curl up in a ball, and all I know, I was just trying not to move because I didn't want to be paralyzed, yeah? I was just trying not to move, and it just was the weirdest feeling. And then when the liquid started draining into my system, I could just feel, it felt like warm tingling sensation going down my legs, and I could feel it trickling down, and I could feel it more on my right leg for some reason. It's like it was taking a bit longer to get to my left leg, but it was the weirdest feeling. It was so sickening that it just felt surreal. And I remember saying to the lady, I was like, please don't start, like don't start until like you know that I cannot feel it. Because you know, you think about those horror stories where you can still feel them cutting you and stuff, but yeah. She was like, don't worry. So what she did was she got this can and she just sprayed onto like my legs and whatever. And she was like, can you feel that? I was like, yeah. She was like, no, but can you feel the temperature because it's freezing cold? I was like, no, I can't feel it. She was like, that's how you know it's worked. So I started feeling numb now. I couldn't feel anything basically. All this area was just numb, whatever. I was just like, I'm gonna be sick. And I was like, I just had to turn to the side and I was just like, I just started vomiting. And I'm not a person that vomits a lot. Like, I rarely ever vomit. I couldn't stop vomiting. And all she did, she put the pail like right here, so I was like that. And I was just like, bleh. So all the sick was just draining down my face. It was a horrible experience, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It wasn't nice. And I couldn't stop vomiting. I just kept retching. And Derek was there just like trying to comfort me. But at this point, I was numb emotionally at this point because I was really upset. Like, and I remember asking them, I was like, make sure you get, I really need the skin to skin. That was important to me because that was my birth plan. That I had everything worked out and everything. And all I could just feel them tugging and pulling. It's like, I felt like a slab of meat at the butcher's. I'm not even joking. They were just tugging at me. And I feel like that was part of the reason why I felt so sick, because that feeling of tugging and not being able to feel nothing, it was just weird, so weird. After that bit, they took a little time to stitch me up. So they took another 30 minutes to stitch me up. So during this time, Derek had gone to see the baby because they took the baby and they carried him to like, you know, the little, I think the weighing machine or something like that. Anyway, they carried him away and I didn't hear him crying. So I was like, is he okay? Is he okay? He was like, yeah, he's fine. And Derek was like, he's fine. His eyes are just open. Like, he literally came out with bright eyes. Like, his eyes were just open. And I had a little cry for a few seconds. It's like, yeah, no. Then it stopped. And I was like, what? I said, is he all right? Is he all right? He's like, he's fine. He's just calm. he was completely calm, like just looking around. And then Derek brought him over to me, and I looked to the left. I couldn't move, so all I could do was turn my head. I looked to the right of me, and he showed me our beautiful baby boy. And I just remember thinking, he's so beautiful. How could something so cute be in front of me right now? Like, he's just so sweet and cute and beautiful and precious, man. He was a small baby, 6.2 pounds. Yeah, he was perfect. He was absolutely perfect, honestly. But the funny thing is, to be really honest with you guys, it was really hard for me to feel those initial, you know, those. It was hard for me to connect emotionally. I'm gonna be real with you, and I really do feel like it's something to do with how he was born, just my experience in general. I feel like at first it was hard for me to connect, because even after when they kind of sat me up, I remember holding him, and I remember going like this. I literally fell over because I was so drugged. I could barely talk or keep my eyes open. And then I started burst into like the biggest sweat. It was weird. It was, yeah, wasn't nice. It was not nice. All I wanted to do is spend time with my baby, spend time staring at him and watching him. And I just said, Derek, just take him, because I can't. My body's so limp. Yeah, I might drop him right now. The fact that I've just literally dropped to the right and I couldn't even hold my body up, my top half up. It's mad. And even to this day, I still feel a bit guilty about that. But yeah, it took a little time for me to get that emotional connection. So it started coming when I started, probably like the next day, I would say, when I started feeling a lot more like myself. The drugs had worn off as well. I didn't feel sick anymore. Because even afterwards, I was still being sick. Like, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. It was crazy. Like, it was just not what I had imagined. But as time went on, I started looking at him and just falling in love with him. Like, I started thinking, I can't believe I'm a mother. Like, you have come out of me and you're so precious. It's the most amazing thing ever. Like, I feel like this is what we're meant to do, like females. I don't know, this is just my outlook on it, but it's just the most beautiful thing. And I'm already thinking about more, like, can you believe that? Anywho, but yeah, like, honestly guys, it was an awkward deal. I gave birth on, so basically I went in on the Saturday morning, that early Saturday morning. I gave birth on Tuesday and I left the hospital on Thursday. So I was there for a while. Derek was with me. There was no showers for him, so he had to literally freshen up whilst he was at the hospital, because what else could he have done? But literally, he was by my side every day. He was supportive, he was there. Like, I remember my family was calling me every day to check to see how I was. It was a lot, but I'm so happy that I decided to listen to my instincts and go into the hospital. And that's what I would say to you guys. If you feel like there's something wrong, listen to yourself, because that was his way of telling me if something's going wrong and I'm not liking it and I need to come out. And that was my instinct telling me that, you know. It woke me up out of my sleep and I called that hospital. So yeah, if you feel like there's something not quite right, listen to it. I don't care if you're calling the hospital every day. Listen to that gut feeling, because that was a sign. Now I have a beautiful baby boy. I wanted to come in and show you guys, but he's sleeping at the moment. I do not want to wake him out of his sleep. But I will show you guys pictures. Oh my god, how can I forget? So I remember, so the day after, no, that same night that I had, that same day, because I had him at 3:45. That same day that I had him, they told me to express some milk. So the early stages of milk is called colostrum. So that's got like full of minerals, full of vitamins and whatnot, and goodness for your baby. That, I'm not gonna lie, I had a really tough time doing that. That was really hard, because my milk wasn't coming through like it needed to. So the colostrum was very tiny amounts, even though they needed a very tiny amount, but I was literally getting 0.3, I think, mils or something like that. And apparently that was enough, but girl, that was really hard getting that. So from the beginning, I did have a lot of trouble with like the whole milk thing. Even after that, like, it was really hard for me to feed him, because the milk just wasn't flowing like I thought it would flow, and I didn't know why. I do think that's got something, again, to do with the fact that I had a cesarean. and also he was finding it really hard to latch as well. I was really upset at first, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I just felt like I couldn't do it. I felt like I couldn't feed my baby, and that was making me feel so bad. Eventually he did get the hang of it, but since then it's been up and down, I'm not gonna lie to you. Even now sometimes I think, right, wow, am I gonna be able to continue breastfeeding, because my milk's not coming through, like it's not flowing through. But to be fair, it's only been two and a half weeks, so I'm trying to like give myself more time. He's getting the hang of it more and more, but my whole plan is to express and to breastfeed. So I'll have to give you guys another update, like when it's like a month or something, and let you guys know like how things are going, because girl, yeah, there's a lot more to this story. But I just wanted to keep this video quite short, because I do want to expand on different things like hormones, emotions, all those things. I do want to expand on them, but not too much in this video. I'm just gonna say not too much. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so already, because I do want to make this channel very versatile in terms of like beauty, vlogs, first time mum stuff. Yeah, I want to do a lot more stuff. So if you guys feel like, I don't know, you might want to watch more videos, you might want to subscribe to this channel, okay? You've reached the end of this video now, guys. Feel free to drop a comment. I would love to hear your experiences as a first time mum, or as a mum in general, because I feel like I do need a little bit of support. It's not easy being a mother, so if you guys can drop a comment, or even just words of wisdom, I'm here for it all. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you now, guys, so I will see you again in my next video. Take care, bye.